On this episode of Global Topic, I'll be covering the topic of green and eco-friendly coatings for the commercial and industrial industries. With me, I have Abbas Sadriwa from Liquigard Technologies. Welcome to the episode.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity.
Could you tell the viewers exactly who you are, what you do, and some background about Liquigard?
Okay. My name is Abbas A. Shadwala. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I am the chief. I'm the research and development director for Liquigard Technologies. And what we do here basically is innovate new and unique coatings with the idea of protecting and preserving everyday materials, objects, and surfaces. The idea is to uh, prevent them from deterioration and enhance their useful life.
Oh, very good. Now, Liquigard Technologies is a developer and provider of green and eco-friendly protective coatings to many different applications, which also include industrial, commercial applications. How are your coatings green and eco-friendly?
Well, we currently have a portfolio of over 100 different coatings, including their different iterations, different ways that each coating is produced. 90% of our coatings are polymer emulsions. What that essentially means is it's a type of plastic that is dissolved in water-based mediums. And so that's one of the things that makes them green. There's no solvents involved, no odors, nothing that evaporates out of it but water. Now, green is a term that started off being reference to natural material, but over time it has encompassed a very broad aspects of material. So you're not only just talking about the material it is made from, how it is made, how it is packaged, how it is disposed of. For example, a spray can, even if it may have a water-based coating in there, it's not green because you're going to throw away the empty spray can. So that is the waste of natural resource. We don't make anything in spray cans. Everything we make is either water-based or completely free of solvents. And that's why we're green.
Very interesting. I had the opportunity to take a look at the Liquigard Technologies website, and for everyone watching, I will put in the information below the website address, and I also will put your email address if people have additional questions at the after watching this program. And taking a look at your website, there were kind of some of the areas in the product lines that I wanted to kind of touch base with you on is related to more of the architectural, the anti-slip, metal corrosion, and special metal coatings that you manufacture. Could you go into some detail about those four different product lines?
Based on your query, I'm going to start with the architectural.
Okay.
So architectural coatings, this is a very extensive category. And everything that falls under this category includes paints and other materials that are used to protect surfaces, structures, flooring, and so on and so forth, including sealers, wood coatings, the paint for marking on streets and parking lots, and so on. Our leadership product within the architectural framework, as we don't have time for me to explore everything, I'll go into main product, is a product called Flex Thermocoat. Flex Thermocoat is a roof and wall coating. Now, roof coatings are dime a dozen out there. And the essence of the roof coating basically is to reduce the ingress of sunlight or heat into the structure, therefore saving on the energy bill. Commonly, roof coatings are referred to as elastomeric coatings. And the word elastomer comes from the word elastic, stretch. And the reason the coating needs to stretch is during the heat of the day, A roof is a monolithic structure that expands. And so the coating needs to stretch with it and then shrink back in the evening. And it needs to do this thousands of times over a period of years. So most manufacturers, if not all, make these coatings fairly soft. The downside of the soft coating is that the sunlight eventually damages the surface of the coating and it becomes tacky like a chewing gum. So the tacky surface now starts holding on to the airborne dirt. So the original white color of the coating deteriorates because of all the accumulation of the airborne dirt. Sunlight has three main components. 43% of it is visible light, 4% is UV, and 53% is infrared. So even if these white coatings were holding off 43%, which is not possible, but if it were, it's still not even half of the heat going into your home. And this is where Flex Thermocoat differs from these products. One, we don't rely on the softness of the coating to stretch with the roof because we build tensile strength into the coating. So how does that differ? Well, that's the difference between a rubber band and a steel spring. They both expand, but the steel spring is powerful. So our coatings never get tacky and they will never retain airborne dirt. Two, the composition of our coating is such that it does not have to be white. It has emissivity, which means it will absorb the infrared and then throw it back into the atmosphere by changing its wavelength. So our coating is capable of reducing the ingress of heat by 30 to 40%. And there's the benefit of it. So it's a stronger product, makes your roof stronger, prevents more heat, and it can be used in cold climates. You can literally put it on the inside of the roofs, like warehouses and so on, to prevent the heat from escaping out. And so architectural coating, within that area, we have very unique wood coatings. We have very unique floor coatings. And this is a coating that we are very proud of. But we are not pushing it currently simply because the roof coatings out there are so inexpensive in the marketplace. We're waiting for a suitable opportunity to market.
And looking at some of the other sectors regarding industrial, commercial, other products that you have, do you want to go in any particular products you want to talk related to those lines?
Well, we are sort of technical leaders in the marketplace when it comes to anti-slip coatings. Now, slip and fall accidents are enormous. If you give me a second, I'm going to just pull up a document that gives you some statistic that is mind-blowing as to what is going on out there in terms of slip and fall accidents. They are responsible for, next to automotive accidents, they have the highest amount of injuries and deaths and the costs associated with it. I'm going to just read some numbers. According to the Senate Aging Committee report, in efforts to protect those 65 and over from injury and premature death, every 11 seconds, an older American is treated in an emergency room for a fall. Every 19 minutes, a senior dies prematurely because of a fall. 31,000 per year. Falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries in the United States. 697 workers died of fall-related accidents, 216. 48,000 were injured. And the cost of this is in the tens of millions of dollars. So we are leaders in the marketplace of slip and fall because we have created anti-slip floor coatings for every surface imaginable and every type of environment. We are the only company that offers anti-slip coating in different textures. So you wouldn't want the same harsh texture that you would put, say, on a swimming pool deck. You wouldn't want it in a tub where someone's taking a bath. And so we have modulated these coatings, and we have created coatings for commercial industrial application. At the present time, we are the exclusive distributors of anti-slip coating for Norwegian and Royal Caribbean cruise lines. Because after 2 years of testing, they decided ours was the only product that really held up. Because these are huge organizations, and they don't want to keep doing something every 6 months to a year. And they wanted someone that can give them 3, 4, 5 years of use without having to redo it.
When it comes to the anti-corrosives, you have some solutions, some product solutions regarding anti-corrosion, correct?
That's something that we are so very proud of, and we feel that that's the thing that's going to set our company apart. And the reason being this: corrosion of steel is one of the highest costs of society today. According to the US Department of Commerce, somewhere between $3 to $5 trillion are lost globally and annually through the corrosion of bridges and other infrastructure. Steel corrodes because steel in nature is only found as an oxide, and it has a tendency to want to revert to its natural state of being an oxide. So when moisture comes in contact with steel, steel acts as an anode, and it releases electrons. These electrons combine with the moisture and turn into an oxide, Fe2O3, which is ferrous oxide, commonly referred to as rust. Now, the best known procedure for protecting steel against corroding is hot dip galvanizing. In this process, a clean piece of steel fabrication is dipped into molten zinc. Zinc forms an immediate bonded layer on the steel surface. Since zinc has a higher electromotive force, that is, it conducts electricity better than steel, when moisture comes in contact with this alloyed surface, the zinc gives up and acts as an anode, and it corrodes, it oxidizes. That's why if you see a galvanized fence sitting out in the open for any period of time, you'll see a white fuzz on it. That white fuzz is the oxide, zinc hydroxycarbonate. But eventually that zinc gets eaten up and attacks on the steel goes on. But you can't take a bridge apart and have it galvanized. And so some companies have come up with products that they call cold galvanizing compound. And essentially what it is, it's a paint with an enormous amount of zinc powder in it. They're trying to simulate solid zinc. The reason that doesn't work very well is all binders or all resins are intrinsically insulated. So this material insulates the zinc particles against each other and insulates the paint against the steel. In order for a galvanic action, that is for the zinc to electrically protect the steel, it needs to have electrical conductivity. We have developed a product and a process called GalvaCoat. We do not see the need for so much zinc in the paint because the amount of zinc does not give the paint enough strength to adhere and to have abrasion resistance. We have used a different technique to make the zinc that we have in the paint much more reactive. In our system, what happens, one of the biggest problems of protecting a pre-corroded surface is you can't put anything on it till all the rust is gone. So they have to sandblast it. And if you sandblast it to what we call white metal, so that there is no rust on the surface. Time-consuming, dollar-consuming process. And all the rust has to be gone. If there is any rust left, that will incite more corrosion. So we have developed a process. We have a primer that when all you have to do is remove the loose rust by pressure cleaning. Once that's gone, you spray a primer. Our primer converts the bonded rust, the rust that is firmly adhered to the metal, it converts that rust so that it makes that rust conductive. Now we put our zinc rich primer on that conductive surface. And then we come back and put on it an inorganic paint. It is not an epoxy, it's not a polyurethane, because all of these paints are organic. Organic paints do not have a tri-molecular matrix. That means the particles that make up the paint have enough of a gap in them to allow moisture to penetrate and eventually cause the rusting. Our inorganic paint has such a tight matrix that even vapor cannot go through. And so this is our system. All you need is to put our primer on, convert the rust, put the galvanizing coating on, and then put our silk coat coating on top of it, and you have an absolutely premier rust-proof surface.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's move towards the green coatings market. The global industry, last year a survey was done regarding the global industry, and it was estimated US dollar about $75 billion market globally for green coatings. And the projection was a 5% year after year growth to 2026. In your experience, in your opinion, where do you see green coatings? Where do you see the growth going in the next 10 years?
Well, Jim, from my vantage point in the industry, I believe that the trend toward non-hazardous coating formulated from biorenewable and biodegradable material, green, right, will continue to grow and at even more rapid pace. And here's why. As much as this technology is in the consumer's benefit, it is just as much in the manufacturer's benefit and probably more so. Up to now, the manufacturers had resisted this change because, you've got systems and materials all set in place. So it's the proverbial don't rock my boat, But once this movement has started, then they've begun to realize that there are decided benefits to move in the green direction, because not only they have greater market acceptance, but it results in greater cost savings by creating safer work environments, lower insurance claims, reduce shipping costs because they don't have all these surcharges for dangerous material. And here's the kicker. And now there's severe competition because they have an opportunity to bring out unique formulation and try and get more market share. So that is incentivizing these people to go green. And therefore, I see an exponential increase of green products in the marketplace.
That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. So our conversation, we focused more on the commercial and industrial green coatings. For Liquid Guard, which industries or sectors are hot for you right now?
Well, Liquid Guard, for the Liquid Guard, we are a company that is an R&D company. So our goal is not necessarily sales and marketing, but to find sales and marketing partners. Okay. That makes more sense because someone already has the sales force. It's already established. What do we need to do that for? We need to stick to what we're good at, and that's innovation. The marine industry and the commercial recreational industry is a very large and very important market for us. This is especially in view of the many different solutions we are able to offer. So we are a multi-trick pony, not a one-trick pony. So when we go into the marine industry and we offer them, say, the corrosion product and create a credibility with them, we can now port multiple other solutions to these people. And the industry is vast. When you look at the commercial shipping and the recreational shipping and the cruise line, it's just you could go on for multiple lifetimes of that stuff. The second for us most important segment is the healthcare industry. You've got hospitals, you've got nursing homes, a retirement community, and so on. All of these people need anti-slip. They need other types of protection within the framework. And that is how our product focuses. Where can we sell multiple intellectual properties.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Uh, Abbas, we've had a great conversation on green coatings. We talked about different sectors and obviously the advantages when it comes to green coatings over other type of coating systems. In looking at looking at kind of closing out this interview, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you would want to mention to the viewers of this episode?
Well, obviously the consumer sector is a huge marketplace. And as a research and development company, we try not to recreate products that big brands have already created. It just makes no financial sense for us. But we are always on the lookout for problems that have not been solved and to find green and unique ways to solve. A common everyday problem is, for example, shower mats or area rugs or runners, and these things slip around and people trip on it and all kinds of stuff happens. So what is your solution right now? You go to Home Depot and you buy these underpads or you buy some kind of tape. None of them work. I've tried them all. So I've developed a coating that you literally paint onto the bottom of your carpet, let it dry, crystal clear, and now that carpet on a carpet or on a hard surface is literally like it's glued down, but it's not. It just will not slip under your foot.
Wow.
Matter of fact, this product became popular enough where Gulf Aerospace is now putting this product on all the carpets in their Gulfstream aircraft. It's part of their specifications. Another product we developed is called Liquid Grip. Since we sell anti-slip coating, but if you think about it, you've got my anti-slip coating on the bottom of your tub, but you're in the shower, you got wet soapy hand and you're grabbing the grab bar. Now that don't get you too far. So we developed this coating called Liquid Grip. It's a clear coating you paint onto that grab bar. Now it converts the surface of the grab bar into a rubberized surface. It just feels like grabbing something that's totally rubberized. And we are now even promoting that product in the sports marketplace for the golfers, for the tennis players. Same thing, right? They don't want the instrument to twist in their hands. And this way they can hold on to it without squeezing the living daylights out of it. One of the products that we are proud of, Jim, is a product called Graphics On. We have a patent on it. And what Graphics On does is enables the manufacturer of luxury leather products to now enhance the leather with any graphic, high resolution, full color graphic. Leather is an enormous industry, multi-billion square feet of leather transacts every year, but they're all monochromatic because they don't know how to do anything with it that will last. Our process that is patented allows you to transfer an image onto the leather. It becomes a permanent part of it without changing the feel of the leather. You can put it on a golf glove and not change the feel of the golf glove. You can't scratch it. You can't scuff it. You can't soil it. And we are right now in the marketplace trying to show it to manufacturers and so on, because this is not a consumer product. It has to be done before the object is made. But now you can imagine, you can have upholstery, you can have apparel, you can have handbags. A person can call up a leather store and say, geez, can you make me a handbag with my pooch's picture? Done. All you have to do is send them a 300 DPI file.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. So yeah, I learned so much in our conversation here, above and beyond, what you have out there and what you do, the different applications that can be done above and beyond many different industries. For everyone watching the episode, I will have LiquidGuard Technologies website listed in the description below. And I also will have, obviously, email address for our guests here today. Abbas, I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you, and thank you very much.
Well, pleasure. Appreciate you giving me the opportunity and allowing me to share some of the work that we're doing.
Great. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks again.
Thank you.